Great. So one of the applications that Jen showed you in the apps portal was Google Classroom, and that was in the Google folder. When your student clicks on that, they go to this classroom area and they can see multiple or one Google Classroom, depending on how many they have access to. In the elementary grades, you're probably going to have one Google Classroom for your class. You might have another one for art and music, but that's usually the amount that you would have. In secondary, you have a Google Classroom for each one of your classes. So in high school, you would have 6 or 7 or 8 Google Classrooms. So each one is a single class. And you can get there through the apps portal. And also, if you're logging in through a Chromebook, you can click on this icon up here in the corner. It looks like a waffle. And then you can click on Google Classroom. Just kind of a quick way to get there. So once you do get there, you'll see all your classrooms in a row here. And to enter a classroom, you click on the title of it. So now we're inside of a Google Classroom. There's 3 areas in a Google Classroom. There's the stream, the classwork, and the people. So the stream is just going to have announcements from your teacher and updates. If they post something, it's going to say the teacher posted a new assignment. If the teacher has an announcement, it's going to say what the announcement is. The classwork, clicking right here, is where you spend most of your time. This is where all the instructions for what to do for the day are going to be held. And that's why this is such an important program, because this is where students know what they're going to be doing all day. The last tab, people, is not as important, but it just has a list of teachers and if there's other students in the class that listen too. But there is a link here to email your teacher. And as Jen said, students do have Gmail, so they can communicate with their teachers and they can click this button to email their teachers. Let's go back to classwork because this is where most of the time is going to be spent. So teachers may organize this area for you in a variety of different ways. They might have topics like math or writing. Most likely they'll have a topic of a date or a week, and all the assignments will be icons underneath. So in this example, we see Monday and 3 things to do on Monday. One type of thing is a question, and you just click on what the answer is. So how are you today? Wonderful. And there's a turn in button here on the side, and you hit turn in. So some of them can be very simple, but most of it is going to look something like this, where it's assignment that has directions and links, and students may even or oftentimes need to turn something in. So when you first click on an assignment, it's like a preview and you see the directions and you see some links. But to see the full thing and actually turn in work, you have to click view assignment right here. So the preview is just so you can look at the different work and preview it, but you actually got to click view assignment to get into it. I'll do that. Now I'm actually inside of an assignment, and you'll see a lot more stuff that I can do in this assignment. I still have the description, which says, please watch the video and answer the following questions on the Google Doc. And here's the video, and here's a class comment area where I could ask a question, and it will go to the entire class. There's also a private comments area, and that is just between you and the teacher. So you can ask a follow-up question or something that way too. And the other area is the work area. Here's the Google Doc that the teacher was talking about. I can also add or create work. I could add in another Google Doc. I could make a slideshow, a Google Sheet, which is a spreadsheet, or a Google Drawing. I can also upload a file from my computer or a link or from my Google Drive. So I can turn in anything. I could turn in an image as a file. And one thing I want to note right here is that if you're accessing Google Classroom on a computer, it doesn't say camera on here. But if you're accessing it through a phone or a tablet, it will have a camera. So if you're working with younger students, oftentimes the teacher wants a picture, a photograph, to be turned in for the work, because it might be to draw something and write a sentence. And then, because I know that's what my kids' teachers do, and I need to take a picture of that. So I found that downloading the Google Classroom app on my phone and logging in makes that a lot faster, because I go to the assignment on my phone and I can take a picture and turn it in really easily. So in this particular assignment, the teacher wants me to edit a Google Doc, and I can see the link right here. I can click on that, and this is the Google Doc that the teacher wants me to answer. So I need to fill it out, and it could be any type of assignment on this Google Doc. And when I'm done, I can go back to Classroom and turn it in. When I turn in work, it says, "Are you sure you want to turn in this work?" Yes. And turn in changes to unsubmit, which will unsubmit it and take it back to me. So now the work is set for the teacher to look at, and they can return it to me and ask me to continue working on it, or they can say, "Great job, this assignment is complete," and return it to me. So I believe that's the ins and the outs of Google Classroom. I'll just review real quick. You have a stream that are updates and announcements. You have classwork, which is where all the instructions for the day are going to be. And they'll be organized most likely by date, sometimes by subject. And then you have assignments, which are these little icons. One thing that changed is that this icon was blue and now it's gray. And that's because I turned in that work. So everything that's going to be bright colored has not been turned in, and everything that's gray has been completed. And that is Google Classroom in a nutshell.